Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Chove. We are back with another Crystal of Atlan banger, and today's a 90K video. We hit 90K a little bit ago, so you know I like to talk about my when I hit my milestones. We are skipping 85K, mainly because we went through 85K pretty quickly, so not enough time. I'm talking like days, so we're just gonna go straight to 90. But yeah, we're gonna talk about what I did to get there, and I want to talk to you guys about like what I have plans as far as content that I'm going to be making for Crystal of Atlan, and you know why it's been kind of slow lately, but it's, you know, the game is kind of forcing me, you know what I mean? So, but let's talk about it. All right, so first things first, we are 91,283. I think we'll be 95 pretty soon, honestly. I say that because we still have pieces that need to get leveled up. For example, we need to do our boots. That'll be an increase. We need to do our, let me see, our boots, our ring, our pendant, and our weapon. So we still have to level these up from 65 to 70. And I know once you level those up, it actually does quite a bit for your stats. So I think that'll have an impact on my overall power. Not really overall damage too much, but that's pretty much all I did to increase my power. I literally just, I got my codex to 200, so I've been enhancing my gear a little bit. I've been buying 3-star amplifications to, you know, get all of my gear to 18. All I have is my chest piece and my leg piece to get to 18. I think I might end up doing these two before I do my weapon. I'm not entirely excited about doing my weapon, honestly. I even spent some recently acquired gold that I got, and I ended up buying Meridia level 2 and Famine level 2. So I ended up getting both of these to level 2. So now I have Famine level 2 and Meridia level 4 total. I'm hoping to get 2 more Meridias real soon so I can finish these out, just you know, just for PvP purposes. But yeah, I'm really glad I got these. And you know, we're gonna be getting a lot of modules coming in, so hopefully we'll finish something. I know I have another Azrael coming in, so you know that's cooking. But yeah, so this video isn't gonna be too long. You know, inscriptions is mainly what I want to talk about, right? So as far as content goes, what I want to do is I want to start comparing like all sorts of random inscriptions, you know, things that we question, you know, how effective, you know, is this one? How effective is this one? How good is this one? And start like matching stuff up, seeing stuff in the comparison, so that we can start, you know, getting a decisive understanding of like which one's better, but in our own like experience. I know people have like their own understanding of what's best, and you know, there's some that are obviously better than others, right? For example, Extraordinary Technique is one of the best ones you can get for Magic Blades, right? You know, I want to compare stuff like here, I'll give you a couple examples. So if I go to my my chest and legs here, you know, Extraordinary Technique and Fundamentals seem to be the clear, the two that you clearly want to do. Fundamentals mainly because, and once you hit level 5 fundamentals, it then targets your silhouette, increasing your silhouette damage by 30%. When your silhouette is dealing most of your damage is actually insane. And then increasing it by 50% when you hit level 6. Yeah, that stuff like that is just too good to pass up. But still, I want to be able to compare it to, you know, level 6 quenching or level 6 piercing, or level 6 anomaly break. You know, like how much better is one than the other, you know what I mean? I want to know. So I plan to make a bunch of inscription content comparing different inscriptions, and then I'm not obviously going to try them all, right? There's some that I think that are just not worth trying, like wall breaker, siege, things like that. So yeah, for the head, hands and feet, I think this is a pretty big one. I love offensive personally, because I love my character having attack speed. This is the same thing for me in my regular build as to why I chose to be lightning build instead of warlock build, is because I loved attack speed. And so, or I loved my character having a lot of attack speed. I didn't like, you know, losing my attack speed thresholds, you know, for more damage. I just didn't like it. So, you know, but there's some great inscriptions in here. You got kill streak, which I like. You know, when you know, reach a certain combo threshold, increase your damage. This one's pretty dope, right? But look, destruction is crazy. Each skill cast grants 5% damage bonus up to 5 stacks, so 25%. And then just reduces, you know, CD, you know. One of them is by 0.5 seconds every second. No, trigger up to 1 time within 2 seconds. And the other one is reduce finisher cooldown. This can trigger up to 1 time within 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds, you're just shaving your cooldowns. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. This isn't something that's just gonna, and I noticed that people are targeting the minute 30 threshold so that they can deal more golden fleece damage. And that's cool and all, but I like things that are past that. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna be doing legend fights and, you know, stuff that we're gonna have to, you know, deal some really big carry damage. And those fights are long. You don't necessarily get the scenario where you're gonna be dealing a 300 hit combo and be able to take full advantage of this. So that's why, you know, we're comparing and contrasting to see what's the best, you know, which ones, you know, have the most effectiveness, you know, and which ones affect our damage the most. Kill streak, offensive at level 9 increases our attack speed by 80, and then we just gain 21% damage because we'll have, you know, well above 200 attack speed. This is absolutely sick. 21% damage is no joke. And then what are some other ones? Destruction, we already talked about that one. Adaptive technique is another one. Main skill damage was 18%. Main skill damage, you're talking about, you know, you have 2 sets of skills. You have your main skills, your secondary skills. Secondary skills are pretty much skills in the back. So skills like when you're configuring, everything 1, 2, 3, 4 in this first 4 slot is main, and this is secondary. Now, if I was to choose that one, I would need to switch this up to where my silhouette was in the main category so that my silhouettes, you know, have an increased damage. And to be honest, I would want all my best skills to be main damage skills, and all my secondaries would be in the back, because I would want the big boost in damage to be targeting my main skills. Because of that, it would require me to like switch my skills a little bit, which I'd be okay with. I would literally make another tree for that, but that's another one of the inscriptions that I'm looking forward to testing out. So yeah, that stuff's, it's just gonna be fun. Destruction, adoptive, I'm really excited about offensive, and I'm excited about destruction. Yeah, I'm super excited about those, but as you can see, I don't have them. So it's like, I'm excited about them, but you know, as far as getting them, it's gonna take time. This is why I said the game's kind of holding us back, because you have to get the inscriptions, and there's no way that you can, you know, accelerate it unless you're willing to fork out hella money. So you kind of just got to play it slow, play it the smart way, kind of get the ones that you know you're gonna want, like the mandatory ones, which for me I think are extraordinary technique and superior technique level, and things like smite for your crit, and things like you know, elemental endurance or attribute master or summon lightning. For me, I love that one. Just get something that you know you're gonna use, right? I'm excited about testing this. I want to test summon lightning, attribute master, elemental endurance. I want to pit all those against each other and challenger these 4 right here, just to see like, yo, which one's dealing more damage, you know, which one's showing the numbers. So I'm excited about doing that. And then of course, comparing superior technique is a mandatory. Smite to air supremacy, you know, which one's better? Which one's better at level 3, which one's better at level 9, right? Just different ways of doing it. That's pretty much it. I don't have anything else that I really want to test here. Adversity, alliance, fullness, I don't really care about none of that. Just air supremacy. So this one's pretty easy. superior technique, smite, air supremacy is pretty much all you want. But as you can see, like there's a lot of testing, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of inscriptions that you got to get if you want to get these to level 9. Like for example, I'm missing superior technique level 9 and I only have it level 6. This means that I'm far from getting level 9. I'm gonna need 3 superior technique level 3s to replace all my superior technique level 2s. So just things like that that make a huge difference. And level 9 is the big one, right? It's not like level 8 is okay in this one. Yeah, level 8 is level 9 is literally that is nuts. Way different from something like let's say elemental endurance, right? Elemental endurance, to where, you know, at level 8, you know, you gain all attribute resist plus 30. And when your highest attribute resist exceeds 30, gain 8% all attribute damage, as opposed to gaining 10% all attribute damage. Like, you can pass with level 8 as opposed to level 9. Level 9 is better, but it's not that much better. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't give you like this effect and then this effect and then this effect and then this effect. So, but I'm super excited about elemental endurance, because this plus 35 all resistance attribute plus your food, which food am I talking about? So I switch back to my this defense move that increases your all attribute resist by 22, right? So with the all attribute that I'm at right now, my defense is going to be above all my all resistance is going to be above 100. So it's going to double my all resistance, which is great defensive stats. You never really get to build defensive and get rewarded for it. So I'm super excited about that, because once you get it over a certain threshold, right, then what it does is you gain 10% all attribute damage, which is similar to that, you know, that warlock piece that everybody liked doing. It's you know, you're now getting another multiplier, and you're increasing it by 10% for whatever element that you are. So this is absolutely sick. And then it says for every 10 attribute resist exceeding 100, gain +2, right? Now we're not gonna have crazy resistance, but we are gonna be over 100. So it's nice to kind of have this in effect. And then as we get stronger, more elemental resist from something by chance, then we'll get to take advantage of this more. But that's sick. That's absolutely sick. So it's nice. And then attribute master getting this level 9 so that we can get that all attribute plus 26 and then that 7%. But think about it, this gives you 7%. Shit, this gives you 10%. You know what I'm saying? So rock them both. Are they both better than summon lightning? Is summon lightning better than attribute master? Maybe summon lightning and elemental endurance is the way to go. Maybe elemental endurance and attribute master together is the way to go. I'm just excited to test all this, you know what I mean? And put a perspective to all this. This is all really cool and I'm excited. I know most of you, I know some of you, sorry, not most of you, I know some of you are gonna leave a comment talking about what you think is best, by all means. But just know that testing is fun for me, you know what I mean? I'm not looking to search the internet to find the solution. I love the problem solving aspect of this game. Testing this kind of stuff and then making content for you guys to check it out, that's the fun part for me. So please try to understand that, you know, before you talk so much about what it is that you know and how much better your setup is than everybody else's, and just try to understand where I'm coming from. In a game like this, I truly believe that, you know, the fun in this game is the growth. If I started playing this game and I'm already at the top of where I'm headed, then I have nowhere to go. Therefore, nothing to do. You know what I mean? Every day I gotta hop on this game and, you know, grind dailies and grind, see what I get. I get to gotcha. On Monday, I'm so excited because, you know, we get this pack back, this whole thing right here, and I get to get some more inscriptites, and, you know, I get to, you know, try to get my queen weapon again and try to do this. That's how the game's supposed to be played. You're not supposed to I'm gonna take a stab at the whales for a second, because you're not supposed to put $3,000 into the game and then get everything in the beginning so that you have nothing to enjoy and all you really have is to complain in world chat. Like, if that is what you choose to do, I'm not mad at you. Do you? But just understand that that's not what I want to do. That's not where the fun is for me. I don't think that's where the fun is for a lot of people. And I'm just a regular player. I do put money into the game, especially the money that I make from, you know, YouTube streaming and all that. Yeah, it definitely goes back into the game. I am not saying that I do not pay for anything. Don't get that twisted. But what I'm saying is that I'm a small streamer, a small YouTuber. You know what I mean? I don't make much, so I put the little bit that I ain't putting 10,000 into nothing. Okay. Only thing that's getting 10,000 is 6 months of rent. That's about it. But but I digress. The fun is figuring it out. The fun is, you know, a lot of you left comments on my damage, for example, and I just thought, why do I want to deal 40 million right now when I can start at 12 or 10 or 7 or whatever, and then work up to 16? I put out a video just recently that I did 16 billion damage, but I actually did this video. I actually recorded this on the 2nd. So tomorrow I'm going to record another one, and I'll probably be doing more or whatever. That's how it goes, right? But that's how it goes. You increase. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the game for what it's supposed to be, you know, and, you know, don't really, you know, talk about, and then I get a chance to talk about how I did this and how I did that and how I came to, you know, acquire these inscriptions. And every day I grind and I stream, and you guys see me, you know, go to purgatory and get nothing, and then go to crafting materials, and then you see me like go to gear, go here, and I look to see how many shards I have, and then you'll see me like when I gather enough, I'll just craft and try to get lucky with the inscriptions. I even let somebody know, one of my friends, that they could do this. They didn't even know, pulled a level 3 inscription right then and there, and I was jealous. I was like, damn, that's dope too, you know what I mean? So that's the fun, that's the beauty in the game. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to make sense of it to some people, because I feel like some of the comments, it's like you guys don't understand a perspective that is growth rather than the perspective of already being at the top. Like, I just started playing this new patch, and I already deal 70 billion damage, and I already have the best weapons, and I already have the best inscriptions, and I can already do this. That doesn't make much sense to me, you know what I mean? Like, so that's just, you know, I'm gonna leave that there, right? Do with it as you will. But, you know, next time you ask me, don't act like I didn't tell you, because y'all be asking me like, bro, and I be trying to tell y'all, yeah, I'm gonna take my time. Yes, you know, I get a lot of people that ask me, why did you choose demonic over divinity? Bro, let me tell you why I chose divinity, okay? To be very clear, I read divinity, okay? I read it, okay? And, you know, resonance duration minus 50%, resonance effect increases to 200%. And I said, okay, all this resonance effect plus 100, resonance cap, burst effect, such and such. And I was like, this seems really cool. But I like the increase and the debuffs that the demonic does, mainly because I'm a melee, so I get to take advantage of the debuff, you know, from somebody being within my circle. And I get all the increases, kind of like similar to plague, filth, the filth set, you know what I mean? To me, this is just another filth set, but instead it's frost. And then of course here, you know, this is more resonance, so I don't have to really worry about the resonance of this effect. So I chose demonic for that reason. I loved the damage bonuses, the damage is slowed. I love the stats that you got from, you know, some of these pieces. I love that one of these pieces, if I remember correctly, had let me see if I can show you. Yeah, see, upon reaching 30 combos, all attribute. Yeah, this is an insane set. Both sets are really good, by the way. I thought one of these literally had defense on them. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Maybe I'm thinking of my actual legacy set. I'm thinking about the red legacy set. But yeah, so that's literally why I chose demonic. When I saw demonic and I saw divinity, I thought, okay, demonic is gonna deal a lot of damage. Divinity is gonna deal a lot of damage. When you're in Residence, divinity is going to deal breakout damage. Gonna be kind of nutty. When you're in demonic, you're gonna be dealing increased damage through the entirety of the fight. So I chose the more stable route instead of the more bursty route. I do appreciate divinity, right? Divinity, it makes your resonance way more consistent than it was before, especially with this effects, right? Resonance energy cap plus 10,000, which if you don't know, these bars that you have on the left, when you're in battle, 1, 2, 3, every time it says 10,000, it just increases another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? If it says 20,000, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the more you have when you activate resonance, the longer it takes to get down. It's just your maximum energy, you know what I mean? And then these pieces, they increase the recharge rate. The resonance duration minus 50%, resonance effect increased to 200%. So what this says is that your duration is lowered, but the effect of resonance is 200%. So it's saying that you deal, like the effect that you gain from resonance, so the increased damage, is going to be 200% more effective. And then when you get the 5-piece, it's then 300% overall more effective. You know what I mean? Even though the resonance duration is shorter, which is okay because your cap is higher. So even though it goes down quicker, you have more of a cap for it to go down quicker. So I trust me. I am well aware. I've read everything about what divinity does, about what demonic does, the differences, blah, 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 all that. And I like the effects of demonics. That's why I went with it. Hopefully, you guys remember when I liked Chariot? You know what I'm saying? Like in the King Queen era. And then I did a video where I compared demonic and where I compared Chariot and Cavalier. And then I was Cavalier all the way after once we seen the results. You never know. Might end up being something like that. You never know. But I liked what I read when I saw demonic, so I chose demonic. Pretty much that simple. But based on the reading, make sure you do make your decisions based off the reading and the research. Okay. Don't choose demonic because I'm choosing demonic. Understand why I'm choosing demonic, and then understand why anybody would choose divinity, and then make the decision for yourself. The game is beautiful. You're able to, choose whatever you want. That's the beauty of it right there. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. So I want to let you guys know, I plan on doing inscription comparison videos, but I have to get the inscriptions first. It's going to be a really big week this week. Tomorrow we do a reset. So I'm going to be getting a lot of inscriptions tomorrow. Let's just hope we get them. You know what I mean? The ones that we want. You're gambling. So no matter what, you're in. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? You never know. So I could get all trash and all repeats, right? Like I could get a level 3, next thing you know, it's an extraordinary technique. It's my 3rd one, don't need it. And all I could do is dismantle it for what, 35 inscriptites and whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, is that what I want? No. But if it happens like that, then the content is slower, but that's why. Okay. I did complete the legendary run, as you guys can tell from my title. I'll put that video up because I did record it and it was pretty funny. Though we needed Drix to be able to do it. Drix is a massive damage dealer, right? So he literally nuked it for us, which is lit. I'm kind of disappointed in this raid, which is why I haven't, posted any content about it. It's not really mechanic heavy per se. It's more like a big damage test, which kind of takes me back to the king and queen, or sorry, not the king and queen, the king dungeon, but then I thought about it. I was like, well, this is the first raid of the level 70 era. So, you know, I think what this dungeon's really telling you is that, hey, if you're just rocking old stuff, you're not going to clear this. We need you to gear up, get your level 65 equipment, level some of it to 70, get your inscriptions, make your build make sense, then you'll be able to clear some of this. You know what I mean? That's what this is telling you. And if you want to do legend, then that means that you figured out some of the OP combinations and inscriptions. So you're dealing crazy damage. Now you can clear this. To whereas, you know, is it really mechanically heavy? Not really. But I'll still show that. Still gonna have fun with that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, you know, this perspective. All of my power videos are just me talking to you guys about, you know, what's the first thing I always talk about? How did I get here, right? How did I get to 90K, right? And then, you know, what are my plans in the future as far as my character goes? And even in my streams, it's been all about inscriptions. So right now we are inscription heavy. Inscriptions and insignias. I want to finish my meridias. I want to finish my here it is. I want to finish my famine. So I want my famine level 3, and then I want to finish both meridias, and I want to finish my Claudius because I still have these level 2. And then I also want to finish my Azraels because they're both level 2, and I'll have a third one soon for one of them. So, and that means I have to get fodder for all of it. So for every level 3 insignia that I want to max out, I have to have 2 fodder insignias. And as you know, that costs gold. So yeah, it's gonna be a minute before I know also a lot of you ask me, hey, when's the plus 22 stream? When are we enhancing? Listen guys, listen. I am not in a rush to enhance, okay? Glenn is a freak of nature, okay? I personally believe that Glenn is a fuckboy who loves to eat cat food like every morning mixed in with his cereal. You know what I mean? No, seriously. Like, Glenn is a failure who literally takes our equipment, shits on it, charges us millions of gold, and hands it back to us with a smile. That's literally what he does. And before I go to Glenn, I want to get a wealth number of other stuff done first, because I think that's a better way to play the game. Remember, 21 was my goal for enhancing, and I hated getting it from 20 to 21. I said it then, I'm gonna say it now. Absolutely hated it. But you know, I'm glad it's done. Whatever, it's done. I'm not in a rush to do 22, so it'll be a while before I do 22. And everything that I just mentioned that I want to get done with the insignias and the inscriptions, I want that all done before I get this to 22. Now everything else I will enhance little by little. Like I'm gonna try to get my chest and my legs to 18, and then I'm gonna start doing my seal and my talisman to 19, and then just little by little shit like that. But yeah, weapon to 22, don't even ask. Don't even ask when that's gonna happen. We are far, okay? But yeah, that's gonna be it for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed me chopping it up with you a bit. Of course, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. You know, if you have issues with, you know, the things that I mentioned in this video, hey, leave it in the comments. You know what I mean? I take all smoke too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I'm out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe. Head over to Twitch, follow Chovio6, where I do stream 3 or 4 times a week. See you there.